Hey guys, it's Lauren. I am jumping on today without faith. I know, crazy. But um I read a post today on Facebook and I just shared it probably an hour ago and it was about miscarriage. And so I just wanted to get on for a second and just talk to you guys. Um Miscarriage is such sorry, there's a fly. And my allergies suck this week. So um miscarriage is something that people don't talk about. And I wish that it was something that we talked more openly about. We're finally at a stage where in society where we talk a little bit more about depression and our struggles with anxiety and panic disorders and all that. And I just pray that one day we can get to where we talk about miscarriage and we talk about it openly. When I was going through my miscarriages, I felt so alone. I felt like I was the only person that was feeling these things. I felt like I was a failure to my husband and I was a failure to my son because I couldn't give him a brother or a sister. I mean, he had imaginary brothers and sisters, and their names were John Deere and Skittles. And he would talk about them all the time, and it broke my heart because it just made me realize like he really 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 wants a brother or a sister and I can't give that to him. um Not because I didn't want to, I wanted to, but because my body said no. I read a statistic today that three more than 3 million women suffer miscarriages just in the United States every year. And those are the ones that go reported. So think about the ones that don't go reported because we don't have, they don't have the means for um, proper care. Or maybe they're not educated on it and so they don't know what to be looking for or what they're going through. And it just breaks my heart. I remember my first miscarriage, I was at work and I miscarried in the toilet, and it was devastating. I won't go into detail, but all of you ladies who have had a miscarriage, you know it's not pretty. Um, I work in a male-based industry, and I think I was the only female in the office that day. So I was freaking out. I suspected that I could be pregnant, but I hadn't taken a pregnancy test yet just because I was waiting to see if I would start my period or not. And I started having cramps and started feeling pretty bad, and then um, went to the bathroom. And then I sat in my office for a little bit and ended up calling my doctor and talking to one of the nurses and saying, "This is what's going on. I don't think this is right." And she was like, "You need to get to our office immediately. If you can't, then you need to go to the emergency room." So I ended up going to their office and they had let me know that I had miscarried. Um, they suspected I was about 6 weeks at that point. But because I had miscarried and there was no prior pregnancy test or test done or anything like that, then that's just the best guess that they could give. And that was 10 years, almost 10 years ago. 10 years ago. And it was super awkward because I felt like for me, I mean, nobody talked about it. I talked to my husband about it. I told my husband I was grieving and in a lot of pain, and I just didn't understand why this was what was happening to me. Like, what did I do wrong? If I had known that I was pregnant earlier, could I have changed the outcome? No, I couldn't have. It took me a long time to realize that. I mean, I had 4 other miscarriages, and I think with every single one of them, I questioned, is there anything I could have done different? And I think that that's normal as us being women and us being moms. And um, so I personally just wanted to get on and tell you guys, if you have had a miscarriage, if you are going through a miscarriage, then you are not alone. We are united by the loss of our babies. And I think it's something that we should talk about. I think it's something that we should be more vocal about. And I think if we were more vocal about it, then we would have women who realized that they weren't suffering in silence. Um, the biggest relief for me was knowing that I wasn't alone, knowing that there had been other women, other moms who had gone through miscarriages as well and knew that their mama hearts were hurting. And so when I would say, I'm frustrated because I feel like my husband isn't grieving, then they could say, oh, I went through that too. And then having Leon sit down with me and saying, like, you're not going through this alone. Like, I'm going through it too. I lost a baby as well. And I'm grieving. I just grieve differently than you. And that was the best thing he could have ever done for me. The other thing is, if you know a friend or you know somebody that you love that has gone through a miscarriage or is going through a miscarriage, choose your words wisely. Please don't say things like, well, now you get to try again, or God doesn't give you more than you can handle. That's crap. He does give you more than you can handle. He gives you more than you can handle so that you can get on your knees and you can pray and you can say, God, I can't do this without you. I need you. I need you. I need you now. I need you. So he does give us more than we can handle. Please, I beg of you, don't tell your friend God doesn't give you more than you can handle. It's crap. Tell him you love him. Pray for him. Tell him if they need somebody to cry with, then you'll sit there and let them cry. If they need somebody to be, they just need to be mad, let them be mad. If they need you to come over to their house and lay in their bed and binge watch Grey's Anatomy with them, Jolene and Chelsea, then do it. Because sometimes all they need to know is that they're not alone. This doesn't define them, and they are still loved. So, if you've had a miscarriage, going through a miscarriage, and you want to talk about it, message me, call me, come find me. We'll talk. I'll listen. I'll cry with you. I'll pray with you. And one day, you'll be able to take a sigh of relief. Not relief. You'll be able to take a deep breath and say, I didn't understand it then. I might not fully understand it now, but I know that God has a plan for me. And maybe my plan isn't the same as God's. And so, therefore, God, I need you to come and help me get through this. Because without God, I would not have been able to get through it. Without my friends that loved me, I wouldn't have been able to get through it. Without my amazing husband and my amazing son and my mom, I wouldn't have been able to get through it. And without one of my best friends who sat there and cried with me because she had gone through miscarriages too and she had lost her babies too, I wouldn't have been able to get through it. Because for so long, I felt so alone until I started to talk about it. So let's talk about it. Let's not let it be a secret anymore. I love you. I'm praying for you. And come find me. I want to give you a hug. Love you.